Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having a great Friday morning, and I hope that the week has been kind to you. We made it once again into the work week, and yeah, it's had its ups and downs for sure. I know everyone is dealing with things as best as they can, so I just want to tell everybody to remember you're not alone in all this, although it can really feel that way sometimes. But I hope that I'm able to help distract you, if even for just half an hour today, from thinking about all the stuff that's going on, and let's just kind of escape together in a world of our own design. So anyway, welcome to Casual Coffee with Ken. I'm Ken, and on this show, generally I try to share interesting, uplifting, and fun news stories, because we don't get a lot of that. If you watch the mainstream local and national news, chances are you're extremely depressed, because that's all they seem to do is run depressing stories. And I get that you're supposed to be informed. You want to be informed about what's going on, but there's a difference between being informed and then being hit over the head over and over and over with a narrative that really feels like it's designed to instill fear, panic, and depression. It's kind of sick. I don't understand. Well, I do understand that the major networks long ago found out that people respond viscerally to negative headlines. That's what makes people click the button, which generates ad revenue. So I guess I can't entirely blame the mainstream media for doing what they do, because we as a society have told them with our views that it's okay to do that. So I started doing this to do my part to counteract that, to provide an alternative that is upbeat and, enjoyable. At least I hope it's enjoyable. I hope you guys like what I'm trying to do here and that you're getting some value out of it. Usually I start out with the tea of the day, and it's one I've done before, so I'll just go ahead and post the link in the episode description down below on my YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, my Facebook page if you're watching on Facebook page, and then for those of you on Twitch, you can always click over to either of those two channels and then get the links there. But yeah, it's the gingerbread blondie. Amazing tea. Great flavor. The ginger stands out, and it's you might notice that I really tend to enjoy ginger flavored things. Yesterday I was drinking ginger turmeric from Bigelow, and today it's gingerbread blondie from David's Tea. It just smells amazing. Wonderful smell, beautiful flavor. It's got that bite that comes from ginger, but it's not in any way too spicy or in any way unpleasant. It's just that perfect blend, that perfect balance with the gingerbread, the ginger flavor, and the vanilla. It's so good. It's so very, very good. So yeah, I hope that that wherever you are, you're doing well. If this is your first time here, you can comment in the show, and I do see those comments pop up on my screen here. I can bring some of them into the broadcast. And if you do choose to comment, I would really love to know, besides who you are, where you are watching from in the world, because that's the wonderful thing about the internet. It's getting to meet people from all over the world, and I love that. That's why I'm doing this rather than just doing videos. I've made a lot of videos on YouTube, and those are fun. I still like doing those, but for me, it's the interaction that I enjoy. That's why I'm doing the live streaming now, for as long as I am able to. And speaking of comments, good morning. Hola, Sean. So, yeah, today is going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing the normal show where I bring you guys news stories that are fun and upbeat and silly and hopefully interesting to you, we're going to do a little story time today. And so I guess technically that falls under the read a book segment. So I'll go ahead and just roll that. So this will be fun. I hope I don't get in trouble for this because the book I'm reading isn't public domain, but I'm not monetizing the video after the live stream is done. I just thought it would be fun to try this. So my plan for the day is to read a choose your own adventure style book. And instead of me making the decision of what to do when it comes to those, those critical key decision moments in the book, I'll let anyone who's watching live make the decision for me, and that should make it interesting. So in this case right now, it just looks like it's me and my friend Sean. So this is going to be interesting. So there is a bit of a delay on the live broadcast. If you're watching on Facebook, it tends to be about 10 seconds after I say something in real time is when you see it on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, the delay is significantly longer. It can be up to a full 60 seconds. So when you see me awkwardly pausing, it's because I'm waiting to see your comments to know which page we should go to next. So anyway, this will be fun. Let's see where it goes here. And the choose your own adventure type book I'm reading today is called Wagons Ho, and the author's name is Gary Frines, or Frins, F-R-Y-N-S. Excuse me. Jeez. Copyright 2015. I got this. I purchased it on Barnes and Noble because it has an ebook version, so I was able to do that. Let's go full renegade. Paragon is for wieners. For any of you who have known me for any length of time, you probably know that Mass Effect is one of my favorite video game trilogies of all time, and so what Sean is referring to on there is the Renegade and Paragon story options for your avatar in the story, Commander Shepard. And of course, the Paragon, basically speaking, is the Boy Scout path in the video game, whereas Renegade is definitely not the Boy Scout path. It's the more aggressive, jerky, insensitive path, which can be fun. I'm nothing against Renegade because there are certain options where you just got to hit somebody in that video game. You just got to punch a reporter. Yeah. Anyway, so it's fun. So anyway, that's what Sean was referring to on there. Okay, so without further ado, since it's already 10 minutes after the hour here, let's go ahead and start the story and see where it takes us. You wake up early and try to get out of bed without waking your other siblings. You go to the window and check out the weather. Weak sunlight rises over the ocean. Even 3 blocks away, you can still hear the waves crashing against the shore down by the docks. The Blacksmith fires are already lit in the shop across the street. Horses pull their carts making morning deliveries. As you come down the stairs, you hear your parents talking in a low voice. You stop by the door to the kitchen and can make out the words Oregon and leaving. This is shocking news to you. Some of your friends have already moved west on the Oregon Trail. They never write. It's like they've disappeared. Your family doesn't even travel that much. With so many children, it's hard to go further than your street. Money is always worried over and kept locked in a little tin box above the mantel. Besides, you like living here in Boston, Massachusetts. At least you have the ocean to play beside. All of your friends are here and it's close to your grandparents. But you've heard stories of the trail. You like looking at the pictures of those strange places and animals in your teacher's guidebook. The stories he reads in class are thrilling and sound like a good adventure. All of the children beg him not to stop when class is over, even the little ones who sit up front. Your parents continue talking quietly in the kitchen. Now they are discussing what they can sell to help raise the $1,000 needed for such a move. When they talk about selling your horse, you can't stand it anymore. You have to act. Do you tell your parents that moving west is a great idea, or do you rush in and beg your parents to stay? So the choice is yours. Do you tell your parents that moving west is a great idea, or do you rush in and beg your parents to stay? Okay. Sean says, move. No begging our parents to stay. We're going. Adventure. Oregon adventure. Okay, here we go. You rush in with a great big smile on your face. You tell your parents that moving west sounds like great fun and ask them when you will start. Your parents laugh and say they are happy that you are pleased. You know the family has been struggling with their printing business and money was getting tight. Pa's shop is one of 7 in Boston, and most definitely the smallest. He typesets articles about boring things, such as ship arrival times and recent costs of stamps. Not many people buy his paper. You should know since you've been out with him trying to sell copies in the town square. If he had the only shop in the town, he would get more important news stories and be able to sell many more papers. This move is a chance to find more opportunities out west, maybe stake a claim to some land, farm it, or set up a printing business in a small town. You wonder if you'll be able to have your own room. You begin to think of opportunities for yourself as well. In a small town, there won't be so much competition for teaching jobs or apprenticeships. You could definitely have your pick of positions when you come of age. Do your parents tell you they were just thinking out loud and you aren't really moving? Or do your parents tell you that you'll join a wagon train in April? Almost feel like I should have the Jeopardy song or something in here to fill the blank spaces while I wait for your decision about our fate. Of course, plugging the Jeopardy theme in would probably ensure a copyright strike. That's why I haven't been doing music recommendations, because the last time I did that, I got a copyright strike, or not a strike, but a claim against my video. Because God forbid you share 20 seconds of a song that you like with people. Oh no. That's evil, sharing songs that you like with other people so that maybe other people can discover new music too. YouTube has many problems. BioWare wheel needed. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, Sean, I think I know what you would pick. So I think we're going to have you say that, do your parents tell you that you'll join a wagon train in April? All right, here we go. April is still a month away, and there is so much to do. Your father has to sell all his printing equipment from his failing work in order to buy the materials and supplies to make it west. Excuse me, jeez. These items are expensive for your family. The guidebook suggests collecting at least $1,000. Since your pa only makes about $100 a year, that's a lot of money. You were pleased with the new $100 wagon and its crisp white bonnet, just like your sister wears. Your pa explains that it is called a prairie schooner because it will sail across the prairie grasses like a boat on the ocean. When the $60 pair of oxen arrive, they are big, lumbering creatures that your pa tells you will be needed to pull the heavy wagon. You name them Pull and Tug. He tells you that these animals won't be as likely to run off like a horse, or even interest thieves because they are so slow. When your father comes home with a cow the next day, you aren't sure why you need one of those. It's for the milk we'll need on the trail, he explains. Your baby sister will enjoy that, and your pa likes milk in his daily coffee. There are still a lot of things you need to get before you can begin your trip. Do you help your father gather more supplies? Or do you help your mother pack up the house? Again, your choices are: do you help your father gather more supplies? Or do you help your mother pack up the house? What if I wanted to do neither? What if I wanted to just stay in my room and play video games? Probably not an option, because video games didn't exist. Help out Papa and then drink his beers. It's a fine decision, sir. All right. Can I help Dad gather supplies? You go with your father to the local mercantile, a shop that sells a lot of different goods. There you buy pots and pans and a brand new rifle for hunting on the trail. Sure, hunting on the trail. Right, Dad. Next, you head to the apothecary for many medicines you'll need on your trip. This includes antivenom for snakes. Your eyes grow round as he hands you the small glass bottle. The guidebook suggested that you bring 200 pounds of flour, 150 pounds of bacon, 10 pounds of coffee, 20 pounds of sugar, and 10 pounds of salt. This you can't carry home, so you'll make arrangements to stop by on the way out of town to pick it all up. You continue to marvel over your very own tin cup and twirl it on your finger all the way home. You can't believe all the materials you have bought and wonder where it will all fit inside the wagon. You ask your pa where everyone is going to sit in the wagon. He tells you that they aren't going to be riding in the wagon. The whole family will be walking beside it instead. All 2,000 miles. You start doing some math in your head and think that you could walk a mile in about 15 minutes. That means it will take you more than 500 hours to get to Oregon. Are you surprised to hear you'll be walking the entire way? Do you ensure your pa that you are big and strong and can walk that distance? So are you surprised to hear that you're going to be walking the entire trip, or do you assure your pa that you're a big, strong guy and you can walk that distance no problem? Do you also encourage your pa to get toilet paper? Because, come on. Probably wasn't toilet paper back then either. Of course, if we followed Sean's suggestion about helping out Papa and then drinking his beers, maybe we're not in any condition to suggest anything except look up at Papa and go, huh? Yeah, I can walk it. That's fine. I'll walk the whole way to Oregon. Fine, whatever, Dad. I'm a big, old, strong man. Also, I challenge him to a fight. You tell your father you're a big, strong man. Your father smiles down at you and says, I know you are. This family is going to need all the strength it can get on this long journey. You are pleased with your father's praise and can't wait to get home and tell your brothers and sisters how much fun it's going to be to walk across this great country of ours. You also let your father off with a warning and refuse to fight him. It's not actually in there. All right, so then you go help your mother with the rest of the packing. Your mother is very thankful to have the extra help. She has to make several decisions about what to bring and what to leave behind. She has been giving brooms and chairs away to the neighbors all day. She asks you to pack up all the bed linens and quilts. It might get cold along the way. She says to tell your brothers and sisters that they may bring 2 toys or 2 books. It's their choice. So do you decide to bring toys like your younger siblings, or do you decide to bring books instead? So there you go, toys or books. I'd imagine you're probably not going to have the opportunity to buy more of either on the trip. So, toys or books? This would have been a very hard decision for me as a kid because I loved both. I loved reading and I loved my toys, and since I was sickly, didn't have a lot of friends growing up, I Spent a lot of time creating my own movies with action figures, Star Wars action figures, and the Micronauts. For any of you who remember the Micronauts, they were fun. Man, they were fun. Wish I had kept those. Not because I think they'd actually be worth anything at this point, but just be fun to still have them. Micronauts were kind of Transformers, I think, before there were Transformers. I have to check my math on that. Toys! I have no attention span. Very good. Gotta bring some toys along the trail. You gather up your brothers and sisters and tell them their choices. You watch as they race around the room picking up toys and putting them down. Your sisters want to bring their dolls or lap looms. Your brothers ask if they should bring their wooden tops or marbles. You think of more practical ideas and wonder what could be useful for the trip and be turned into a toy. You get the idea to suggest playing hoop and stick with the extra felly rims for the wagon wheels, or to play catch the chicken as a way to keep the younger children entertained. So do you tell your parents you are all packed? Yes, you do. that was badly phrased there. Shouldn't have been a question. You tell your parents that you're all packed and your parents are pleased with your choices, and make sure that everything fits neatly inside the wagon. So the author didn't actually tell you what your choices ended up being since you decided to bring toys. So I'm going to say that you just brought marbles and a sock to put the marbles in so you could beat people with it if they tried to take away your toys or the toys belonging to your brothers and sisters. That sounds good to me. You were sad to say goodbye to your grandparents, knowing that this might be the last time you'll see them. Aw. The journey west is just too long for you to travel back and forth for either of you. They wish you luck and remind you to write. Do you promise to write a letter once you arrive, or do you plan to keep a journal and send them a copy once you arrive? So you're going to write a letter when you get there, or are you actually going to keep a journal for the entire trip and then send a copy of the journal to them once you are settled in Oregon? I think the clear-headed person would keep 2 journals. As much of a pain in the rear as that would be, because otherwise you're going to have to just sit down and hand copy the entire journal once you get there. And that seems like a huge pain in the rear. Or you could mail them the entire journal, but then you don't have the journal. So I think the clear-thinking person would say that if that's what they're going to do, if they're going to do the journal option, that you would keep 2 journals and just keep your entries short enough to where it wouldn't be a huge pain to write 2 of them every day or every other day, however often you were writing. And that way, when you finally get to Oregon, you just mail the copy off. I write a letter where I challenge Gramps to a fight, okay? You promise to write a letter once you arrive. Your grandparents hug you and provide you with a small packet of paper to write on. They tell you this is very precious, since paper costs so much. You thank them and stow it in your valise on the wagon. You are now ready to go. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and end it because it is 9:30 on the dot. All right. So that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. It was a little different. Don't know how engaged I am with this particular story, so I might look for other ones. I will go ahead and put a link to the author's book because that's only fair since I read out part of it on the air. And if you are interested in this story, you'll be able to go and buy your own copy. Like I said, I purchased it on Barnes & Noble because there is an ebook, but I know there are a lot of interesting ones that aren't ebooks, so I might actually have to send off for maybe some of the old school choose your own adventure books that we all grew up with and know and love. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for spending time with me this Friday. If you got any value out of this video, if you liked it, do me a favor and share it with your friends on your Facebook page or your YouTube channel or your Twitch channel, and just let them know about this weird guy in Reno, Nevada who's trying to promote positivity and uplifting news stories, and just provide a fun, hopefully a fun distraction for people who are tired of being hit over the head with bad news all the time, every hour of every day. And if you like the show and you want to help the show grow, I appreciate any contribution that you feel you would like to make. There's some fun rewards tiers I have set up over on Patreon. You can find me over there at Patreon Casual Coffee. But I largely do this show just for my own mental health, and because it's fun for me to do it. So thank you all. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I'll see you guys bright and early, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday morning, and we'll start the whole process over again. But until then, do something fun, try to relax, and remember, we all have a choice in life on how we want to be, and I recommend that when you have that choice, you choose to be kind to each other, because kindness absolutely matters, maybe now more than ever. Thank you so much. Take care. I'm Ken McKim, and I'll see you next time.